Good morning from Visit Worcestershire New Road. Final ODI between these under-19 sides, England and India. Plenty to play for in terms of pride and experience for these young cricketers out. A really healthy crowd here on a sunny Monday morning in Worcester. And the new opening batsman, Matre, and the wonderful Suryavanshi, the non-striker. And the first ball of the game is that's certainly what we thought on Saturday. There's his first boundary, given a bit of room outside the off stump, just smashes it through extra cover. A remarkable rate. End of the first over, by the way, and the total is 6. We've got the first wicket. Matre's given it away, really, chipped it up on the onside, might just have stopped on him a little bit, but I don't think he's really given himself time to get in on this pitch. And
agrees, but he's had a tough series, including a golden duck, 5 on 1 today, so he trudges back to the
Burbank bowls, and Suryavanshi just steers it down for a single on the offside. And that's the end of the over, and he's kept the strike. So 2 overs gone, 8 for 1 the India under-19 score.
One thing that was noticeable on Saturday, Frank, of course, that we mentioned was how often Suryavanshi attacked the first ball of an over, and particularly the first ball of a spell. When a bowler came on, he sought to assert himself really quickly, and quite often the first ball disappeared over the bowler's head.
Yeah.
Which the conviction and the assertiveness for a young man of 14 is.
That wasn't the prettiest of shots.
No.
Gets a single off and in fast hands, and that means, well, we're not, because French has got him. Well bowled, Alex French, nipped away, I think, from Malhotra. He had to play it in, and Malhotra, very good 100 on Saturday, but not to be today for him. He's gone, and it's 9 for 2.
With purpose, they've lost the series 3. They really are in a strong position. Really good start, really good resilience from.
Well, no stinging of hands there, apart from perhaps some first 6 of the day. Margins for error bowling against this young man are utterly minimal, and maybe a tad overpitched. Straight around the wicket again he bowls, and that one again is hammered away on the offside. Just extraordinary. Over extra cover, and it's 6 more. 1 for 2. And although I saw this on Saturday, I am again astonished, Brian. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it. It is
too much wrong with that delivery.
Well, it was a little bit, absolutely. And that's a very good effort from Burbank, who beats it. A bit like the one that as Kumar gets off the mark, turning this one on the leg side. You must control your emotion. In again is French, and this one just turned away on the leg side by Suryavanshi. They'll get 2. The young man, who is already. Oh, I think he might. Oh, he's got away with it. I was going to say I think he might be out. He's gone for a big hit, top edge.
Around him and his family. What will that be?
And it's quite quickly plays this one up to mid on for a single, because otherwise his development won't be as time. You don't want to over.
A little bit different, doesn't it? Just the way he's taken to this level, and obviously the IPL with that
shot there by Kumar brings him a couple. Pedestrian, really. And that's another good one from French. No ball by the umpire. Free hit off the next ball.
Towards 6 or 7.
Well, the free hit is wasted. Wow.
That's a good shot.
It's a lovely shot. Over pitch from Burbank. And Kumar just congratulations from his partner Haldorf. This one clipped away for a single. Not Brian, but Brain. B-R-A-I-N. H-A-L-D-O-R. H-O-W-E-S 9. That was a no ball, and it's another free hit. Well bowled. In fact, he doesn't get a run off it because he's absolute effort.
Well, what a shot that is. Full in length, and Suryavanshi once before rocketing into the fence. Wonderfully timed. Good sprawling stop at mid.
Yes, very well bowled. Sebastian Morgan frustrated Suryavanshi there in going forwards there. The 14-year-old as he comes back, because that one on Saturday, which was just a truly memorable inning. Overs 1 for 3.
This one's aerial, but Pangalia again is on the front foot and driving out. There's now a man, not short and wide by any means, but very controlled strokes up his second boundary. Big tall frame, and this one's up in the air, and man circling underneath it, deep backward square, and he takes the catch. It was there, maybe stuck in the pitch slightly. The ball went circled underneath it and took a fairly comfortable.
And Dawkins took a really good.
And as I say that, a boundary is conceded. The Singh drops short and swing. 91 for 4. By Chowan. A left arm spinner. And it's dropped onto a nine. You seen him before, Matt? Ah, that's a good shot though. From Pangalia, has been down on one knee here and slapping that one away to the square leg boundary. And it.
See how India play against the spinners. This is the first time we've seen spin today, as that ball's short and dragged into the leg side by Pangalia.
Well, he has scored at good chance for him today. This time it's Chowan clipping it nicely up to long on. And as Brian was saying a moment, created a situation where we've got all sorts of discussions. Morgan is in, and this one is steered down to third man for a single.
Well done.
Another good over, 111 in that. I tend to feel, well, whatever the competition. Single here. Albert bowls nicely and just pushed to David Milnes. Just watching the replay now, and yeah, that's a really, there's no question about that shot at all, I'm afraid. Discussed at the decision, I think we're right to say that David Milnes has got it, and it was with a nicely flighted delivery. And India are competitors in the competitions and games that I'm commentating on. I've lost touch a bit with the IPL. He's in to bowl to Ambrish, who's off the mark, pushing this out on the offside. Ralphie Albert, well bowled. The young man.
Mostly around this. It's definitely not a minefield out there.
No.
There's runs to be scored if you play properly.
Yeah.
If you take your time, and there will be bad balls. I was on commentary. Brian and I were talking about
as game is signing autographs. He's one of the players who's not out there in the middle. He's on the bench and Rob Jones, far more and famously, as Albert bowls, driven back to at the very edge of the. There's a change in the bowling, by the way, and we've got Alex French back into the attack. He bowled really well before. First ball goes for us. About him, would you like him to? French in again from the Neurodem bowls, and this one is jabbed down to third man, and he's got enough pace on it, and he's timed it well enough to pick up a boundary. So 4, dare I say it, probably holds a bit of responsibility at the moment if they're going to get up to a 1. It's 129 for 5.
It is
a perfect day, actually. Sometimes they're not moving that
blowing
much,
too much. So there is a little breeze. Obviously
developed habits that don't lend themselves to good cricket. This one driven into the ground and half stopped by the bowler off his own bowling, but they get a sing, and he's halfway through here
to third. Oh,
that's a really good delivery and a super take, and
yeah, that's nipped back. And there is that shot I was talking about as French bowls back of a length picks up a single in the 131 for 5.
Today, I'm pleased to say, watching their these young internationals.
Excellent hand. Chauhan looked to cover, and it's a quicker ball and does turn a little bit as well.
Bowled,
it's
really
excellently
well
bowled. With that, India are 134 for 6.
Pressure.
This is short. It's cut out in front of us where Sebastian Morgan does the fielding. There's a big appeal as it hits him on the pad, and it's another wicket. All host of trouble here. 135 for 7.
As his batting part.
Didn't quite time that one, short. On him a bit quicker than he thought, I think, but he's got 2. Ambush. By the fact that they've lost the wickets at the other end.
Well, just before you came in one-day cricket, it was, of course, England v India, not under 19s, full men's, that produced one World Cup in 1975. England 174 balls with 1 4. That is curious.
How is that even the same game as that one that is played by... I always wonder, I was going to say, as you can go first, Brian, I always wonder at what point autographs becomes... They go for just a straightforward squiggle and not a proper signature, but...
You're welcome.
I've an autograph book that I had, which was a wonderful collection you often get. This one is hammered down the ground, tennis style almost, by Ambush.
Well, too astute and probably not.
Yeah, probably not get a lot of interest. No, the other thing I was going to say, I'd away with it. So if you could rope in a commentator to play, you would always get a game, and don't realise that you're not really one of the cricketers, and guys to be recognised as the stars of the days here. And we had a lovely moment a couple of hours ago, Brian, when you weren't on air. This one sliced away for a single, where and Jack Home in his England kit. Singh back into the attack, and Guha, who struggled to find any kind of fluency, slices this one away down to third man for a single. 43 now with 4 overs left after this will be. That's another lovely shot. He's finding the gaps now really nicely. Slurish opened the face as he drove it. Just opened the face and got it wide of the fielder at extra cover. And he keeps the strike as he nudges this one down the ground. So it's 197 for 7, 2 overs left. They now might be hoping they can get up to something like...
He's allowed Ambush to go about his work here. A couple of steps down the wicket, he could have shuffled inside the line of that and done exactly what he's done there. And if he'd have got it closer to that 30-yard circle, they could have easily come back for 2. The fielder behind, that's well bowled. Turn it into leg side and aggressive running, and it's for a second it looked short, but he managed to just extend his stride and make that. Rue had to fetch the ball, but the India team to keep strike.
And he will. Only just.
That was well bowled.
Made 1 for 41. Singh starts the last over with a full-length ball, which is driven to long on. They come to make it, so they'll get coming in to the non-strikers, and he had to go for it. I don't blame either him or his partner.
Was the run out
Might have another one here because they're going to take one and they're not coming back for two. This work from Ben Mays coming in 204 for 8.
Priest.
And he stays where he is and he chips it up in the air and he's caught by Joe Moores at backward point. So a wicket for. Well, we've been predicting something like 2 as the last man. Push back caught by. And that's nicely played, actually, by the number 11 batsman. Down to third man. 4. It's gone for 4. He's down on it. Sing to sing, it was. And the sing of India triumphs over the sing of England.
Of limbs.
Slower ball. Nicely played out for a single. Ambrish on strike. Has played a sing. He's in. He bowls and. A single, a cruise side, but was unable to do so. We're a total of 210 for 9. Easily their best, well, a better performance than Saturday. I didn't see until then from kind of student of the game. You go home tonight and study, or maybe not. Oh well, we've got a wicket. So the Edrich comparison is that England lose their first wicket with the score on 6. Went for a big launch outside the off stump and well, I cut it really, and catch was completed by Pangalia behind the stumps and Deepish Devendran strikes. Road end bowls and that's a lovely shot, beautiful shot from Ben Dawkins to get off the mark. The tall right-hander to the back foot on his first scoring shot, his first boundary, obviously, and takes.
And there, Dawkins chases a one slips and one bounce into that boundary rope down at third.
You're listening.
Oh, and this is a genuine edge that runs away for 4. Dawkins pokes at just outside off stump. Despairing dive of the keeper. And that is imperious from Dawkins. Step down and hits a back of a length delivery through extra cover. There was some width, but he got his
very sweetly. As he does here, picks the gap between mid-wicket and mid-on beautifully, and he can score late.
The best delivery here. Ambrish has not started. And that is a beautiful strop. Beautiful down the ground.
An immense straight drive.
Saturday, what do you make of his bowling as he's been dispatched by Dawkins? It was back of a length and he rocked deep into his crease. Hits this over mid-wicket for 6.
That wasn't his finest work, was it? He dragged that one down and need to come up with a wicket. Continuing the excellent work by their bowlers.
That's an excellent reverse sweep. Seems to be so comfortable playing now. We didn't see any of that in the 5 for 1 in the...
Do anything reckless.
That's long off.
They did make a pretty good fist of what...
3 deliveries.
Big innings.
Yeah, third successive 50 score. As it's short and he rocks back and hits this for 6 over mid-wicket. Quickly realised that that ball wasn't
well on the back foot here. Dawkins again pouncing down the wicket, working it in.
Well on Saturday, I did say on plenty of time, no sign of it. That is a magnificent shot, this time by Mays, using his feet, and because England are, well, they're cruising, to be fair.
Ambrish 15 from his over.
And they've played at 81 now. make that 85 because Dawkins uses his feet and cracks this one. So India are really going to struggle. Chan bowls this one from about 24 yards, but they still get 2 as the fielding's done by Suryavanshi. Maybe not even consciously, but his first ball is dispatched by Mays with a nice little reverse, executed several impressively. And he plays it again, this time more deftly. Just a little paddle, reverse paddle rather than sweep.
Relatively little of.
Yeah. And Dawkins plays it again, this time it's a hit. So we've had a reverse sweep, we've had a reverse paddle to hard, 1, 2 bounces out to the boundary. In the air, but he knew there was no fielder there. He's very good at it.
He is, and it's brought up the hunt. A flurry of runs, and India have got a...
This time less certain, Mays. Comes down the pitch. Taken on the pad, the ball lobs out to short final. Spin experiment is concluded. Deepesh Devendran is back into the attack as Devendran bowls and is clipped away on the leg side for 2 by Ben Mays. Good running from these 2 young men. Towards this. And well, Devendran a little bit unlucky here because Mays is looking to clip him away on the leg side and he turns his bat too early. Where on the offside they get a run. And he's caught in the deep for 66 and well, he played very well on both occasions and England are in a excellent
as there was Dawkins. Indeed, as there was on Saturday.
Sometimes the Suns exceed the dad. He's off the mark here with a little outside edge down to 3rd man. But to make your way in the game.
Well,
but it should be. It should be, shouldn't it? Checking now. So Fife-born Manchester City hero Alec Hurd. We're on opposite sides of the... Rue gets a bit lucky here, just takes one hand off the bat as he goes to drive it away on the offside and it just runs away off the face. Rue square drives for another single.
That's true.
Not only them, but...
They've not had the best start, but found form in the last.
I think probably is the real concern at the moment. You would suggest as Rue pushes this out on the offside. That said, they've earned
from the digless end, and he's continuing with the short ball ploy. As it looks like Guha is back. This was head high to Thomas Ruin there behind the square on the leg side. Bowling line and length. I think that horse is bolted for India, but they just didn't do that for long enough.
That's right, and as the pressure grows, sometimes what often gets the wickets, which is just bowling top of more, you tend to try an experiment, the more things can go wrong. Dawkins and Flintoff fell in quick succession, but Mays and Rue have played it very solidly.
Yeah, these two have put on, well, with that single turned off Rue's hip, they've put on 50 together.
Skillfully.
They do. The ball always seems to be in a gap as well.
And attractive shots, we know that, but he doesn't need to play them all
going over without having to resort. That was a slower delivery, I think, by Guha, by Mays.
This innings, it was when India turned to were instantly aggressive.
Yeah, it was that first ambush over where Dawkins scored 15, and then India turned to the spinners, as this is uppercut over the keeper for 4 by Mays. It was a well-directed, focused on the ball. It was beautifully played.
Yes, Ambrish went for 15 in his first over. He's gone for 35 in 3. Chowan 24 from 3.
Just on personal milestones, you don't want to be batting with someone like James Roux, who
That's right.
He was unable to do anything with that delivery, though. Back of a length and looking to pull it.
I'm sure Ben Mays, if he's seen his game, has seen his side to victory. That's
And
a gorgeous shot from Roux.
it was a beautiful push, just timed. There was no venom in the shot. It was just pure timing and placement. I'm excited to see how he's going to perform for the rest of this season, because there's a very talented young player there.
Lost the series, but both sides clearly have abundant young talent coming through.
Point.
Yeah.
Dawkins especially had a bit of a fan club down on the opposite side.
It was never anything remotely sporting. There's 4 more there.
Yeah,
but
throws his hands through it.
A day at the cricket for a school trip. Yes, I think I could have handled that.
Got to go to the cricket. There were plenty of trips to, for anyone that knows that part of the world, the castle on.
I think the highlight of ours was Slimbridge. One really enjoyed it, but as a schoolboy, I think I'd have plumped for cricket.
Yep.
7 short of victory, England, and they're making to bat well against an India side which has bowled well in this series. Perhaps come up with something pretty spectacular now if this series